We are recording now. AMA Central, ApeLab is here with us once again. It is 3 p.m. UTC, and we're going to have a great time on a Saturday. Ape Shit, Dan, we are extremely happy hosting you today and having you in the venue. If you don't mind it, to start off with, if you could please introduce yourselves, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Ape Shit. I'm from the States here. We have five kind of core development team members, and we've known each other for a while inside the crypto space and outside of the crypto space. Three of them are UK brethren, are best friends in real life, and so they've kind of adopted us Americans, even though they give us a lot of flack, a lot of flack for it. But yeah, so we've all been really passionate about crypto for a long time now. And we each kind of have a skill set that we bring to the table. And so we got together and decided that we really wanted to launch something and bring something unique and different to BSC it's not there today. We're just, you know, we're big on community, and we feel that there's enough money going around BSC that we can make some and help our investors make some while still being genuine, moral human beings. And we feel like it's unfortunate to say, but that's kind of an aspect that's missing a lot in what we see a lot, right? We're seeing a lot of rugs, we're seeing a lot of all these kind of terrible things that are happening, and so we want to be at the forefront of driving that change in BSC.
Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, to be frank, there's nothing that has not been created or invented yet. I've always said it is all about how you manage something and how you make it look. I always give the same example. This glass can look in so many different ways depending on how I sell it to you. So what that means is, you know, right now that you're presenting your project, you are going to be selling something that most likely has little to no innovation. As in, I could probably find other projects that have done it the same, that have done the same thing, but it is just about how you present it and how you actually make it work. So let's talk about it, anyways. Ape Lab has a lot of new aspects to talk about, anyways. So, guys, now that we are here, now that you talked a little about yourselves, the last thing I want to know personally is your crypto background. How experienced are you in crypto? Not only you personally, but the whole team. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah. So our main guy, Popcorn, has been around in crypto for quite some time. Has tremendous experience in smart contracts and being able to kind of write out our tokenomics and understand the BSC space. I've really, myself and our other US partner, have really taken the approach of really diving into the marketing aspect of crypto, understanding the trends, understanding really what works and what we feel doesn't work. And then the rest of our team, we've all been in BSC and crypto, 2-3 years of kind of investing in the coins and helping out with other projects. But this is our really our first take on being a development team and owning our own token. So it's, I think our collective experience is there where we each kind of bring a different component to the table. But this is our first go at an entire token and an entire building out everything. The good news is for a lot of what we're going to talk about today, when we talk about utility, our function, a lot of our real life jobs that we've had and education have kind of helped us. So we've kind of leaned on, what are we good at and what are our strengths and how can we incorporate that in the crypto space.
That sounds great. Lovely. I'm happy to hear. Also, being the first project you really jump into, you will probably be super excited about it, and I'm sure you guys are going to put all into this. Now, let's talk a little about ApeLab. Okay, ApeLab has a lot to it. ApeLab has a lot to share today, and I'd like you to professionally introduce your project, not being too technical. What I always recommend, and from what I've seen to catch investors' attention, is introduce your token as if you were explaining it to a new investor in crypto that doesn't know anything about DeFi yet. So, how would you attract that? How would you be able to sell your project and attract someone that is new to the space?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So for any new investor getting into crypto, kind of biggest complaint, and it was a struggle for myself getting into crypto, and it's been a struggle for family members that I've reached out to, and hey, you got to get into this token, and it's the integration, right? They get on into crypto, and I'm like, okay, you need to go get this token. So you got to load up Telegram, and you got to go to charts. Well, where's the chart? Oh, well, you can use this chart. But then if you want to buy it, oh, you need to go over to PancakeSwap. What the heck is PancakeSwap? Well, you need to load up your wallet and go into PancakeSwap. And so the process is just, it's a lot of different applications. None of them really speak to each other. They're all designed, hosted by different entities, and it really creates a difficult process if I'm a new investor for me to get involved into you know, meme coins and all the great things that BSC has to offer. It's not an easy experience. And so what we're out to do is we're out to change that. Our overall kind of driving force is to create a one-stop ecosystem for all things crypto. So that's kind of the driving force behind our utility, behind our function, is really to create that ecosystem where you can check out the chart. And right from the chart, if you like the token you're seeing, you can purchase the token. You can see the community votes integrated right from there as well. You can check out new tokens that are launching on our launch pad. You can check out developers that have locked tokens on our launch pad, and you can check out the advertising, of course, and find out, what's kind of hot in BSC right now, and then be able to make all of those decisions live within our application and make the purchase within our application, not jumping around to different things. Also, that's really at the front and center of our utility, is the suite of BSC tools that really will make it easier for not only developers to onboard onto our platform, but for newer crypto users to be able to integrate into this space cleanly, easily, have the information that they need right at their fingertips in a nice user-friendly format. So that's kind of what we've set out to do in a nutshell. It's an ambitious plan, and we're pretty far along into that plan. So the good thing is we have a functioning product we can showcase to potential investors. But we don't stop there. Obviously, like I said, we've studied market trends. We understand what's hot, what our investors want. So we take it a step further, and we look at what benefit do you get from investing today? What benefit do you get from investing now? This is where we really do believe that we are unique, is in our staking. So our staking is based off of buy and sell tax. Most staking applications do not base it off of that. It's an APY model. And then more importantly, if staking happens to pay out in rewards, generally speaking, they're selling the token in order to do so, which drives the price down. So our staking is unique in that it's based off of the buy and sell tax. So your rewards pay out in BNB, But when you cash out your rewards, you're not driving the price of the token down. We've already paid out over 100 BNB in rewards through our staking app in our first week of launch. So we really feel we have something unique with that staking app that really hasn't been done, at least not to quite the degree that we've done it, and especially with the ease at which we've done it. We have our own proprietary staking app. You just load into your wallet, shows you how much you stake, shows you your rewards. It's a click of a button to unstake, to cash out. No fees to do so. So we really are proud of what we've done with our utility being front and center and being our long-term roadmap, staking kind of bringing it to what am I getting today for investing? And then to top that off, we talk about NFTs, right? It's a hot trend. We don't feel it's going away, and we really want to build a brand for ourselves. And so we have our Lab Apes, which is 5,000 unique NFTs that we will begin minting on Monday. We're launching our NFT marketplace to buy and sell NFTs and mint those 5,000 Lab Apes. And it all kind of goes back into building a brand, building an image, and then kind of driving that change. At the beginning of our conversation today, I talked about, we're kind of tired of what we're seeing from a moral standpoint in BSC. I talked about we want to be at the forefront of kind of driving that change. And we'll take a page out of your book. You said no one is completely unique here, so we'll take a page out of your book in that we feel we're going to have a platform where we're going to have the audience to be able to start driving that change. And so our goal is to make sure that we're only advertising vetted safe food projects on our charting applications. So that's where we feel we can really start driving that change, is that, hey, we're not going to just advertise for the next guy looking to rug his project. We're going to make sure that we've checked you out. We've had conversations with you. We've done everything we can to ensure that we're only bringing on partners that are safe in this space and that really are going to be best for our investors.
That sounds fantastic. We're talking about the future so much. It feels like it's getting, we're talking about something that is not there yet, but your project is there. So are we able to talk about dates? I mean, not specific dates, but maybe like, let's say, approximate dates of those things happening. Do you guys have a roadmap that people can follow to then know what you guys will be doing and which kind of paths you will be following?
Absolutely. I mean, it's an absolutely great point. We see it a lot, right? You pull up a token, you hear a lot of ambitious plans, but there's nothing actually there. It's just a roadmap of, we're going to launch, and then in 6 months, we'll get you something. So we've kind of bucked that trend and really felt that we needed to have something that we can present. So we've got our charting application. You can go and pull that up today. You can plug in any contract on BSC and it's a full functioning charting application. However, we are definitely making tweaks to it. We're understanding that we want to be a little more integrated with our charting application. So we are going to rewrite some functions in React and Swift, so it's a little more integrated. Those coding languages allow, as opposed to maybe another tab opening, they will allow integration within the charting app itself. But our swap, our chart, our voting application, and our developer locker are all ready to go and can be viewed today. So we're going to start, now that we've launched, we're going to start integrating those and really starting to push those channels. Obviously, for anyone that's involved in IT that understands IT a little bit more, which is where some of our professional backgrounds come from, it's always an evolving product. So we're always kind of refining, tweaking, taking our community's feedback, what works, what doesn't work, what are the must-haves versus the nice want to haves. and what we can do for that. So, applications are out there, they are running. I would say, now that we've launched and we've kind of seen kind of, from an actual standpoint of user feedback, we're starting to make some of those tweaks. So we would expect our charting to be all those tweaks to be in place within the next month, as well as with our vote and our swap with the integration. So that was a big piece of feedback we got, is that, hey, I would like the swap to be right next to the chart. I don't want to have to go to another page within your utility to use the swap. I want to be looking at the chart as I'm making my purchase. And so that's where kind of some of that React and Swift integration comes in. So we've taken that feedback and we're starting to make those channels. The bigger ambition is the launch pad, right? And so that's where we're talking about hosting Launchpad for obviously new tokens that are coming on board. And that one is a larger ambition that we have. And we expect that one's going to be early Q1 2022 would be the Launchpad. The good news is everything else is really there. It's working, and it's really about tweaking, refining, making sure that it can support the volumes that we're going to be bringing in, making sure that it's being integrated. So we're excited that we have a working product we can show today, and it's really just a matter of making it perform to the expectations that we hold ourselves to.
Sounds super good. I was taking a look at the Launchpad itself and the functions. Everything looks smoothly, smoothly working. Everything seems great at first glance. Do you expect to be adding new functions in the close future? Do you want to be adding functions of like filtering functions in regards to contracts that have applied to your ecosystem? And also, how do you expect to filter all of this? Are you going to do like a little kind of like KYC process like PingSale does? Have you guys thought about this?
Yeah, so a couple things that were in the talks of getting added. One of them sooner than later, but we want to build in a basic anti-rug feature, right? So you find a token on our platform or within our ecosystem that you really like, you'll be able to, again, at the click of a button, just pull up a basic anti-rug checker so that you can do your basic research. As far as kind of how we plan to vet the project, really we want to take an organic approach. We're gonna introduce an ability for developers to come onto our platform and fill out a form so that they can request kind of the starting point of that. And then our approach will be to reach out to them and have a conversation. Hey, let's check out your Telegram. What safety do you have in place? Let's take a look at the contract. Are you doxxed? Are you KYC? We haven't decided if, we're not going to draw a hard line at you must be KYC'd or doxxed, because we do think that there's safe players in the space that aren't. But we are going to want to take a look at who that individual is. If they have a community already, are they a new established token that they're just launching, or they've been in the space for a while, and we can kind of have that conversation. Obviously, we're not going to be able to prevent everything, but it's something that's not being done at all today with any of, I would say with any of the charting applications out there that do heavy advertising. None of them are taking any level of vetting. They will advertise anyone. It's just money in their pocket. And so we're okay understanding that we may lose some, but we're going to build a dedicated investor base that trusts that if you're seeing it advertised there, it's already gone through that first layer. Obviously, always do your own research, but that's kind of the approach we're taking. And absolutely, like I said, it's a living, breathing ecosystem, and so we're always going to be looking for ways to better make it function, to take community feedback. That's the great thing is, there's a few pieces that we've outsourced. We have some individuals that aren't affiliated with the token or the team, but our developers in our real lives that we know through work, that we've had help us on certain aspects that we can't do. But most of this has been built in-house. And so we're constantly kind of taking the feedback of our community and tweaking and making those adjustments. And that's something that I don't I don't think you could reach out to KuCoin today and say, hey, it'd be really cool if you had this feature and actually get someone live back to you that says, you know what? Yeah, let's see what we can do about that. So we really want to continue to build that community and have those conversations with our community and really make a product that works for the larger community.
Sounds fair enough. Humbly speaking, Apeshit, when you talk about the project, would you compare it to any other project that does and wants to do anything similar? Was it a unique idea that got to your minds? Did you want to improve some other platforms that are already putting this to work? And if so, how is it different from other platforms that we see around with similar functions?
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to say that we're probably the first in the space to come up with an idea. I don't know if anyone has quite taken it to the extent that we plan to when we have our finished product, right? You usually have a separation between the charting aspect and locking and launch pad, right? Those are usually two separate kind of components. So that integration really hasn't taken place in this space. Um, but absolutely, I mean, we definitely, if you're in our chat, we're kind of talked about as the KuCoin killer, and obviously we're not there yet. It's a huge, it's the original platform to kind of battle back, and I know there have been other charting applications that have taken their stab at it as well. But if you pull up KuCoin or really any of those other charting applications, there's a lot of information. And if I'm a new investor, it's a lot of information that I have no idea about, and it very quickly becomes overwhelming. It's not easy to navigate. You're kind of stumbling to figure out what I need, where I need it. And so that's really the approach we've taken is kind of bringing it back to basics. We're gonna launch advanced features for those more hardcore investors that need some of that. But really, our goal is to make this platform as user friendly as possible and really make that interface something that's easy to navigate, easy to use, easy to see, gives you the information you need without a lot of the filler content that you don't. So it's really about kind of stripping it back down. So yeah, I mean, when we were in this, when we were talking about what we wanted to do, I mean, those names came up, right? We talked about how difficult it is to get in on a DX cell. Half the time the wallets don't connect. Half the time, it doesn't display correctly. So we talked about what we complain most often about in this space, and then talked about, well, what can we do to kind of build a product that kind of cares for and fixes those things. And the big one was we really want it to be all in one. We want developers to be able to lock their tokens, launch their token, pull their charting, do their botting, do their advertising, do their voting, all from the same platform. And so that's where we feel we have that unique aspect in that all steps from cradle to grave can be completed on our platform.
I completely agree. It's been a while since I said this might be a little controversial, but I always say it. I can't wait for a platform to take over PooCoin. PooCoin is one of these old things that they just got comfortable. Everyone uses it, and the improvement has been null. I haven't seen any improvement in the technology of PooCoin in such a long time. Like they literally haven't improved anything. So there are a lot of projects actually. I'm not going to name them now because it's not suitable since we're talking about ApeLab. But there are a few projects that have a very similar purpose, wanting to take over and and actually offer a much better platform with you know, peak technology compared to PewCoin just throwing a chart out there and not really giving you a lot of information, as well as not filtering the projects. I mean, PewCoin lists, let's say lists plenty of scams, rug pulls, honeypots. They don't give a damn, you know. They just post anything they it gets through. You know, anything that gets listed in BSC scan goes straight to PewCoin automatically. Honestly, not the way to go. So yeah, I can't wait, you know, for a really good new platform where we can chill around, look at the charts, and do a lot, you know, a lot of different functions too. That's great. That's great, Ape shit. I think we talked about a lot of things. The only thing that I am missing right now is your marketing ahead, your marketing plans. What do you guys expect to be doing in the next, in the short term, and also the long term? What kind of marketing are we facing when it comes to ApeLab?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So obviously, with any token marketing is kind of key. So right now we're kind of at the you're the forefront. You're the beginning of our world tour for AMA. So we have an AMA booked every day for the next week. And so we're excited to kind of, you know, we really love the AMA channel. I think it's the best form of marketing because it allows us to have these type of conversations that we're having right now. It allows us to walk people through our token, let them learn about our passions, really allow people to hear, you know, the passion that's coming out of me right now about what we've designed and what we've built, and allow people to ask questions. And I think it's a medium that's starting to gain a lot more traction. But you know, when I first got onto the space, it was, you know, one AMA would be done and it was this huge thing, and then you wouldn't really get another opportunity. And so we really like the AMA channel. So we're going to continue to push down the AMA channel and look for smaller groups that we can really just kind of connect with the investor at an investor level. And so we're excited about pursuing that. You know, we've got some social influencers. As I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm seeing in our developer chat that we just booked one. So very excited for that. You know, we've taken some steps we feel it's going to help our marketing, but we did want to also address investor security. And so, you know, we obtained an audit and got a KYC docs on Friday. And then we also locked our contract with Everown, which we feel is not only a marketing opportunity, but also obviously it brings additional security to our project, to investors that are coming in with us. And it opens up our channels really for some of the larger AMA functions that will only, such as yourselves, will only go with the safe food projects. We'll only really want to speak to projects that we know there's a degree of security integrated into the project. And so we're excited that we've taken that step. Long term, obviously, you know, we talk about charting, we talk about that application, and that's kind of our front and center. And so, you know, our long term goals are really to start integrating other projects onto our platform. Anytime we're talking about other projects using our application, using our ecosystem, there's a name brand recognition that comes with that, and it's going to continue to build our name out there and then drive the curiosity to the Ape token that started it all. So building that kind of support, bringing on new advertising partners, bringing on new developers that want to advertise on our platform and want to lock on our platform, and eventually want to launch from our platform is a really big commitment for our long-term success. And really, we feel that's going to be our primary long-term marketing strategy, is focusing on bringing that integration, and then obviously finding out ways within the chart itself that we can draw some some attention to our token. We've talked about, the possibility of launching some premium features and requiring that you hold a token in order to access some of the premium features. We don't want to in any way limit or prohibit individuals from using the tools they need most by having to buy in. So we're not going to take that approach, but for some of the more unique trade features that some of the advanced users may use, we've talked about, requiring you to hold a certain amount of ape tokens in order to do so. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, we've pushed marketing really heavily over the next couple of weeks, and really hoping to get our name out there and to start building some brand recognition, because we have an entire brand, obviously, that's going to be attached to this ecosystem.
Right. Guys, you heard it. ApeLab, long-term investment, one of these tokens that you could certainly go to sleep well at night, not overthinking about what's going to happen the day after. The things coming look incredible. The things coming look so good. I think the potential is there, and well, now it's just up to the team and up to how they manage to develop the whole ecosystem, and also how they manage to throw it out into the market and get audience for it and get customers. So far, it's been great talking to you. We had so many things that we covered that I feel very satisfied with the answers you gave us. So with that said, I think it's suitable now to jump into the questions. Guys, please click on the button you have there in the middle so that we can see that you have questions, so that I can turn on your voice, your microphone. Just one last thing, Ape Shit. If you got anything else to say before we jump into the questions, please do so right now. Anything you want to tell our investors, anything you want to kind of like share with us?
Yeah, I think I may have mentioned it, but we've kind of talked about so much, and I know we have a lot that we're offering within our platform. We're kind of, hitting short term, immediate, what can we give to our investors, and then the longer term, obviously the larger ecosystem. So we do have our NFT marketplace that is launched on Monday. We have, within our chat some, I am at a loss for words. Examples, some teasers, if you will, to the NFTs that we'll be launching. So if anyone's curious what those are going to look like, they can go check those out. The entire marketplace will be launched on Monday. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is long term. So as we start building and bringing on advertising partners, we've already talked about this in our chat, but we have committed that we will take 33% of ad revenue generated, and we will buy back and burn into the token. And we're not sure if we're going to do that on a monthly or a quarterly basis, depending on what looks really what works best to do that. But that is something that we've committed to doing for the token. So we really want to approach this from a business standpoint, where we're not just relying on the next guy buying in to drive that price up. So when we're buying back and burning, we're bringing in money from an outside source that's going to be driving this price, and then the burn is going to be creating a deflationary value, of course, on it. So that's just going to be additional incentive, obviously, for the long-term holders. And that's really what we're trying to build here, our long-term holders. And it's a difficult concept to try to change that mindset in BSC, because there's so many that have come into this game because their brother or their aunt or their uncle talked about how they made 10,000 overnight on, XYZ. So everyone comes in with this mindset of, I'm going to make 10x overnight. And if they don't, they're upset, or they're asking, well, what are you doing about it? And so we're trying to change that mindset. And we're really trying to reward the long-term holders and really emphasize, the importance of it, and what we can do to kind of assure our investors about that long-term success.
Being an early Binance Smart Chain investor, I I do remember the very beginning where people really had trust, really found innovation into the projects, and really actually invested thinking and supporting for a better future. And you're right. Now it's gotten to a point where we get people aping at night, wishing to do a 1020x overnight without even doing anything, just scratching the balls. I feel like BSC definitely needs to take a turn back to the very beginning where we used to invest and hold and trust in the development of the projects and the technology that they were bringing into DeFi and into the world. So I think the mindset that you're trying to share is correct, and it used to work very well in the past. Invest in a good utility that can change the space, that can probably guarantee you good returns in the future. For sure. I think we need to you know, reteach and teach over and again the new investors jump into DeFi, that you're not here to make profits in 5 seconds. It takes time. Good things take time, and it takes support, it takes passion, it takes efforts, and it takes time once again. So I agree with you 100%. Um, I think that's good enough. We're going to jump into
Yeah.
questions now. Our investors probably have a lot of questions to ask you. So, guys, as I said, please click on the button if you have a question. You have it right there in the middle. Go for it. Okay, I saw Joshua earlier on clicking on it. Joshua Crowley, how's it going, bro?
It's going good, man. So I'm just curious if would owning one or multiple of your NFTs be also considered as, access to a higher tier of your trading platform? As you were speaking of holding your tokens, would it be considered the same?
It's a great question, and honestly, it's not an avenue uh, that we've considered. We may look into that, absolutely. The NFTs were really we've we've got so many ideas for a team of five where we're like, I love NFTs and I love staking and everything that we decided, what, NFTs would be a real fun thing to create, and it kind of helps with that brand recognition. And our hope is that as our brand builds, it kind of drives additional want and brand recognition for the NFTs as well, right? Everyone's going to want an ApeLab NFT because of all the utility once all that's in place. So we'll look at that. We're also looking at ways we can better tie the NFT into the token, into the ecosystem, whether that's a percentage of any sales from the NFTs goes back into the token to buy back and burn. We're looking at some of those avenues as well to see how we can better support that marketplace, which eventually will be an OpenSea marketplace. So we'll be able to trade any NFT that's minted on BSC. Right now, it'll just be our NFTs that you'll be able to buy and sell, but we are eventually going to open that up and make that a full functioning open marketplace. So great question. Obviously, it's not something we've kind of ironed out yet, but I'm already taking it back to the team, and we'll definitely discuss that for the future.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. I'll definitely be looking into them NFTs. I'm all about those ape NFTs, man. Anyways, appreciate it.
Yeah, check them out. There's some good ones out there, and like I said, there's 5,000. They're all unique. There's a lot of fun ways we've kind of built that character. So
I agree with that. They look sharp, and I love them too, to be honest. So, thank you, Joshua, once again. Lovely having you. We're going to move on to maybe Simon's got a question. I'm not sure if you raised your hand, Simon, but I do see you there in first place. So maybe you did click on the bottom. Simon, do you have a question for us?
Hello, yeah. So I think you gave us all of the information needed about the project. I think I'm gonna add some beans in this project. Actually,
We can't hear you well, Simon. I literally can't hear anything.
hello. Am I clear?
Now it is a lot better, yeah.
Yeah. So I think you gave information needed about the content already. And then I think I'm gonna give some beans in it. So I have a simple and fun question for you. What is the thing that you enjoy the most when working on this project? Yeah, that's all.
I heard, and I apologize, Simon. I heard what is the thing, and then the most working on the spot. I'm assuming you're asking what is the thing we enjoyed the most, or
Yeah, that one.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, for me, I love the AMAs. Uh, quite honestly, if you follow along with us, you'll find out that I'm the one that's always hosting the AMAs. I'm the one that's primarily in the voice chat. Um, the my other team members will tell you it's because I'm very articulate and all that, but that's a loadable. Really, it's I love just being able to interact with the community and talk with the community. Um, and being on the team, I get an opportunity to do that as often as I can. And I really love coming into channels like this and just having those conversations. And it's not a side of crypto that I really was able to get involved in prior. Obviously, I could be someone listening on the sidelines and ask the occasional question, but I really enjoy being up here and answering questions from the community, feeling the community out, figuring out, what works and what doesn't, and being able to take that feedback and really implement it, and then watching their reaction. So for me, that's kind of been the biggest enjoyment I get. It follows along with what I do in real life for my real life job. So I guess it just kind of builds off of the best parts of my real job and takes it here to where I hope is going to be my job where I'm going to retire. I mean, that's the goal here, right? As we start generating ad revenue and everything, is that this becomes our retirement. This is going to be where we're going to be at, and so I'm looking forward to continuing that journey and continuing to have these kind of conversations, and really have these conversations in our chat as well.
Yeah, amazing answer.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much, Simon. Let's get into the next question. We're going to get into one more question, guys. So far, questions have been really, really good. Who wants to ask another question? Byron. Byron, there you go. You go for it. Byron?
Sir,
Hello? Hello? Well, no, I think, Byron, we can't hear you. Your audio is literally not working.
hello, sir.
Okay, now it seems okay. Yep, it seems good now.
I just want to ask if there's already like the roadmap for that.
I'm sorry, say it again, Byron.
Like the roadmap, sir.
Yeah, so I mean, we've kind of talked on what we have in place. The good news is that most of the utility I talked about is a functioning product today. Obviously, we've talked about that there's things we need to refine. There's some coding that needs to go in just to make it a better functioning project. The one thing I will say that we're kind of talking back on now is that we wanted our chart to kind of be at the forefront. That would be the first thing you kind of see when entering. So we didn't build a kind of standalone website. So right now everything is kind of centered around that chart. And so we're talking about adding some additional information on the actual charting application that'll point you to, what's coming next, like an upcoming section, and kind of pointing more towards what you would consider a traditional roadmap.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Benson.
Thank you, Byron. Thank you very much. Lovely answer. I agree. Okay, let's do something as I've been doing in the last AMAs and I like to do. Guys, please do your own research, join their links. You have them there. Join their Telegram. Make sure that if you have any extra questions or that you have anything to ask or to say, join their Telegram and give them some love. It is definitely deserved. ApeShit has done a great job. ApeShit introduced ApeLab so well. And I think, it is worth the time. It is one of these projects that you can invest and chill. You don't have to be worried. This is not a overnight moonshot and a crazy dump afterwards. This is a slowly growing project with some really interesting utilities. So, with that said, ApeShit, Dan, and the whole ApeLab team, thank you for bringing such a great project and such a great AMA to AMA Central. I'd love to wish you a great day, best of luck, and it was a pleasure, honestly. I had a great time talking to you.
It's
Perfect. The pleasure was ours.
been
Thank you
an
very much, mate.
absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure. Like I said, we've heard tremendous things about you, and you guys do not disappoint. It's been a great AMA. Excited. If anyone has any questions, we are always available in our chat. Feel free to jump in there, get a feel for the community. They're always very helpful, and you can always DM us. I mean, our door is always open.
Anytime, anytime. Thank you so much once again. Guys, do take your time. We're going to keep the chat muted for a while so that you can do your own research and definitely take a look at this project. These guys are transparent, professional, and definitely caring with the community. So go there, give them some love. And with that said, I'm out. We're out. Thank you once again, AMA Central. I'll see you in the next AMA. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Cheers, brother.